Hi everyone. Today I am going to be talking about The Black Flamingo by Dean Atta. This is a Barnes & Noble book club selection. It's a YA coming of age story. It won the Stonewall Book Award for the American Library Society. I first heard about this one on Lauren Wade's channel. I've been following her for a long time, and she has a lot of just a lot of the things that she reads I find incredibly interesting, and I have yet to read one that I have chosen based off of something that she's read and been unhappy with it. This was absolutely no exception. I truly think this is going to be one of my favorite books of the year. It was amazing. It was so wonderful. It was enjoyable. It is, it's a novel written in verse about this boy named Michael, and it follows him as he's a little boy, as he's a mixed race. He is Jamaican and Greek Cypriot, growing up in the UK, and it's him as a little boy as he's. I'm going to hold this the whole time. Okay, I do, however, want to set pause. This isn't even it's right side up, guys. I'm so good. Okay, this has a really beautiful cover. I actually really liked the UK cover a lot more. So if you go over to my Instagram, I have both of those. But I liked the actual. I love when a book is pink. I don't know, and it has flamingos all over it, and I just thought it was beautiful. And everything about this book was so wonderful. I read it in 2 sittings. It don't let the verse intimidate you. At first, I was a little bit concerned at how I don't know how I'd like it if it sit well. It was super, super enjoyable. I thought it made it. I really like reading poetry. I also really like spoken word, and I have for a long time. This reminded me a lot about that, and I just enjoyed it so fucking much. Just so much. It was literally, okay, that's gonna sit there. We're not gonna touch that anymore. Okay, so, I wish that I would have had more little tabs with me, because I probably would have tabbed this entire book. It follows him as a boy. So when he's a boy, he's trying to sort of figure out what he is, what identity is really his. His dad isn't around, even though he does have a relationship with that side of the family. It's sort of trying to figure out whether he feels like he's part of that and what his Jamaican identity looks like versus that of his mother, and who is Greek Cypriot. And at home they have a very UK identity. Later on they do go and visit their grandparents in Greece, and he really just sort of has this feeling of, where do I really belong? What am I? In all of this, he's trying to sort of understand his own sexuality as well, and there are times when he's bullied about it. I will say there are some scenes in this that I found I was expecting, so the bullying is something that often doesn't end well. There are times in this, I really truly was surprised in so many things. There are a couple of scenes in it where I was just expecting the main character to just be destroyed. I mean, just destroyed. And don't get me wrong, there are difficult things, and I felt for him, but I was just taken by surprise by the surrounding characters, because where I was thinking he was going to be tragically destroyed, they ended up being really positive experiences, I felt. Okay, so there's a scene where he's in love with this boy, and this is in high school sort of, and he sort of they know they have a thing, because you can just feel it. So he goes and he writes him this letter about how he wants to go out with him, and he sort of has this moment where he just blurts it out and just can't hold it in anymore, and just gets it out, and he gives him the letter, and it's in this very public place and other people see, and the boy that he's giving this to just drops the letter, and you're like, oh my goodness, what is going to happen with him? And this other boy, he retreats and just runs away, And this other boy comes and he thinks he's going to beat him up for this whole experience. And not only does he not do that, that whole interaction ends so beautifully. And I was living for every single moment. I don't want to tell you what happens because I don't want it to ruin it for you, but just go pick it up, go read it. If I would have read this, I truly feel that this is a 100% 5-star book. I could have read this when I was 13 years old, and it would have been transformative to my psyche in that for a novel in verse, for a character to find his truth the way he did, as it goes on. So the Black Flamingo is his drag persona. So you're getting to that as you go through it. So after his high school, he kind of goes into university, and this is a period where I felt that he was kind of the most lost. And he has there's a lot of firsts in it, and a lot of the firsts are really great. And you get his internal monologue is just, trying to figure out what he is and who the Black Flamingo is. And his truth comes out so incredibly, and he just owns it so amazingly. I think I have one tab that I tabbed out. I'm going to also link in the description so Dean Atta, he also has a poetry series, by the way. Go check out his poetry series. I purchased it. I've read a couple of poems from it, and really, I just think they're really outstanding. They're very evocative. They're profound. They're loud and quiet at the same time. So far, everything that I've been exposed to by him has been awesome. And like I said, I could have read this as a 13-year-old. I could probably read it again and think it's still so, so wonderful. Let me see what I tabbed out. I know there's like some highlights and underlines for sure. I'm just not I don't always have them with me, and I really should have for this one. So there's one point where this person, Katie, who's in this drag group, is trying to ask him who the Black Flamingo is and what it's supposed to represent. And his answer is gorgeous. So she's asking if he's going to shave his beard and really embrace the drag. You don't seem to want to change much about yourself for the show, she says. You want to keep the beard, but still pretend to be Beyonce? That's not it, I reply. I don't want to pretend to be anyone. Not anymore. So who is the Black Flamingo? Says Katie with genuine curiosity. I reply, he is me, who I have been, who I am, who I hope to become, someone fabulous, wild and strong, with or without a costume on. I just thought that was so beautiful, and there's just so many things like that the way he speaks just speaks to me. It's gorgeous. Please go check this out. This is honestly probably going to be one of my favorite books of the year. I can't imagine something coming and blowing this out of the water, just for as much as it had to say and the way that it said it. Oh man, I would have given anything to have this book when I was 16. This is the kind of thing that needs to be read. So I'm going to link the author reading his own words in the description. Please go check it out. It's outstanding. It's beautiful. This was not very helpful. I don't know that I told you anything that was useful, but this was, I think, one of my favorite books of the year. 5 stars. I'm so happy to talk about it. Please go read it. It was amazing. Thanks for being here, guys. See you next time.